Hey, hello everybody. Welcome to Dungeons of Castle Blackmoor. My name is Tad Kilgore. I am your storyteller slash dungeon master today. I'm going to welcome you to the stream. We've had a couple interesting episodes here that have led to sort of the culmination of a lot of things that have been going on. And to give everyone sort of a quick and brief recap, our players have been pursuing and dealing with different cells of the agents of the Thrall of Coot. And in so doing, they figured out that there were these items, these little bracelets that could function to possess people and also to function as scrying devices, they thought, scattered throughout the city. And they'd been distributed by a merchant called Zinc, who appeared to be just harmless as this dude who sold pottery and, junk jewelry. But they'd figured out that he was selling it. They'd gone and they'd neutralized him. And then they, as they had worked their way through the city, figured out that there was a warehouse really very nearby, his place of business that they should investigate. And in so doing, they found out that there was a massive guild, or at least segment of guilds, band, den of thieves, and were rats that were working together. And this is after they had actually been to the King's, to the Spring Ball at the Galen household and seen several members of the Galen family poisoned, sort of struck. So they had a couple things that sort of all rolled together for them. And they went to this warehouse. They went into it and had a really serious, very, very challenging fight. They managed to engage pretty much an entire thieves guild at one time with their sort of supporting minions. The result of that was an outstanding fight that the players played very, very, very well. But Idris Regan was struck down, and a thrall, warlock thrall of Coot, and a couple other individuals were able to grab his body and abscond with it. And when last we left, the players were standing in a stable off of the Dragon Square, off of Enceladus Square, Enceladus Circle, trying to figure out what they wanted to do next. And it had been pretty challenging for them. They were trying to figure out how to find Idris. Now, the things they were able to figure out was that these individuals that they were chasing showed up at this stable. They went and they talked to the stable master. They leased a carriage for the day and put down a deposit on it and took off with the carriage about 5 minutes before the players got there, or 10 minutes before the players got there. And they know that the carriage that they left with is black, and the sigil it was marked with, the license plate, right? It was marked with was a pair of blue diamonds. So that was the information they'd been able to extract so far from this. And also they found out that one of the individuals, they're not quite certain which one, that came and leased it, his name was Gregor and has done business with this individual before. So that's sort of the information we have at this point. Now, I'm going to throw my table rules at you a little bit so everybody's kind of clear on them. I mean, you hear it every week, but I like to restate it because we get new people in the stream all the time. My table rules are fairly straightforward, and they're going to make sense with you. Those of you that played, Blackmoor or other games with me at conventions are familiar with them. The first one, and is a really important one to me, and my players are awesome about it. They get it. They are in character pretty much any time that we're doing character interaction. So if you're having a conversation in front of the merchant prince and you begin to discuss how to scam the merchant prince, he's going to respond accordingly because that's information he's going to get. Now, some things, there's mechanics, there's long-term planning, things like that are not in character, and it's really obvious to you when we've dropped out of that, and we'll do that off and on. And that just encourages a really good environment where you interact with your NPCs, you know your NPCs, you understand them, you develop relationships with them, and you begin to think more and more like your character, which these folks do an excellent job of. Second thing I do is when it comes to skill checks, your skill checks are almost always made in the dice tower in Fantasy Grounds. So that means that you don't know what your role is. And what that allows me to do is it allows me to feed people information that's directly tied back to their senses, right? What their body is. It helps me place them physically in the space that they're in, and they're responding to the information that I provide, and not necessarily the mechanics of the die roll. Now, also being a die roll and gaming nerd, when somebody rolls something absolutely stellar or absolutely horrible, we'll occasionally go, usually, dang, Jen, look what you rolled. I'm picking on you, Jen. But I will show folks what they roll when it's particularly outstanding. I do that with a very high roll for a 20 where it's absolutely clear to you that you rocked, which also happens to Jen all the time too. So I have a tendency to do that because I think Jen makes more skill rolls than anybody except maybe Penny. so I do that all the time for folks. Those are my basic table rules. A couple things for you. Tim Barth, who is sort of my partner in crime here. Tim helps me model and design things in the background all the time. He works with me pretty closely. Tim is always out in the stream, and you'll see, Kithrain, that's Tim out in the stream. He normally monitors the stream for us, hangs out. He kind of co-DMs with me. I run the game, but he and I have, worked on the design together and the writing together. Well, what we do off and on.
What Tad means is I tell him when he comes up with some crazy idea, and I'm like, dude, that's crazy. You're going to kill them all. Back off on that.
What, EL+6 is not fair? Yeah, so no. Tim does that. Tim does that for me. He also helps me design things. And really the most important thing is the plot, right? Helping me refine and shape the plot. Tim's going to be stepping in to run one of the NPCs that was present last week. We have an arcane warrior, Cork Barksdale, who's going to be on the table. Tim will be running her in character. And that's going to be his contribution. Before we get into it, Idris has hopped on earlier. He may or may not be with us today. I think he's probably going to be off the rest of the day. I'm not totally
He's
sure.
out in the chat right now for a little bit anyway.
Oh, okay, cool. He's got a lot of stuff going on today personally. We didn't plan that I was going to whack him and drag his body off. But that's ended up being how it did, how it played out. He's got a new puppy. Everybody go, yay, puppy.
Yay, puppy.
Yay, puppy. So he had to
It is very cute.
He had to go pick his new baby up today and sort of get him integrated into his household. He may hop in on and off. So what you're going to see today is this group of individuals. And before I go any farther, I'm going to step in and ask the players where their characters are right now, what they're thinking of the tactical situation they're in, and how they want to approach solving it. And we'll give everybody a little bit of a chance to talk about what's going on. And then we will drop right back into Blackmoor. And again, thank you so much for coming and watching our stream today and supporting us. We really, really, really appreciate it. I respect it profoundly. So that being said, Matt, why don't you talk about where Penny is right now and what she sees is going on?
Well, Penny is covered with shit because she just came out of the sewers. So Penny's super happy about that. And right now, Penny's just trying to track down one of her fellow compatriots that was taken and is really tired of everybody not respecting Penny's ability to cut them because she had to pull a knife on this poor stable master who just didn't want to speak to her. So if people just understand Penny will cut you, it will go a lot smoother in the future.
Excellent. Genebank, let's talk about where Genebank is. So, and Jen, I just want to say, you were the tactical center of the party in that last fight. You were like Joe Tank. It was kind of amazing.
Yes, and yet, Jenna Bink is incredibly frustrated because despite her tactical prowess, Idris Regan is still dumb enough to drag all of her carefully laid, intelligent plans down. And now she is having to go run after him. And if he dies, it is just going to be yet another social failure. And kind of big one too. It's like, there's friend cheated on you, and then there's let friend die. So that's going to be kind of big, and it's going to affect her badly, I think. So she's rather irritated right now.
Okay, so that's really interesting, Jen. So how you're processing this, how she's processing this right now, is she feels that this is a personal and absolute tactical failure, right? So she's saying this is a source of almost like social shame, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's clearly if she had been more intelligent and somehow accounted for Idris's stupidity, this could have been avoided.
Okay, that's very interesting. So I guess the way it kind of plays out for you, the way I should be thinking about it sort of as your DM is this was a personal failure and I have to redeem myself in a relationship to it. And that sort of speaks to the standards that Jenna Bink sets for herself too.
Yes.
So the lesson of the day is never underestimate the power of stupid nobles, even in small groups?
Yes.
Speaking of not unstupid nobles, let's step over to Forsalanto, who's a really good friend of mine. Been playing with us for a while here, and this is Jimmy. Jimmy is running Delbert Galen. Delbert, why don't you talk to us a little bit about where Delbert is today, how he's processed what happened, and where you think he's sort of heading today.
Well, up to this point, everything has been kind of a whirlwind rush to try and catch the um, the villains, but we've kind of hit a dead end, and now we need to process clues. So we just need to stop, think about things, wait for backup, and catch our breath.
Okay, that seems totally fair to me. So right now, Delbert's like focus, process. We need to understand our tactical situation and act. Is that kind of where he is?
Yes.
All right. That makes a lot of sense based on how you've been running him. All right, here we go, folks. Oh, and Timbo,
Yeah.
you know, do you want to talk about Cork at all from your perspective, real briefly, to give folks
Well,
some background?
so Court Barksdale it's a character that the rest of the characters have met before. She is an arcane warrior. She's kind of like a magical cop in a way. And for those of you that don't know much about Blackmoor, sorcerers are somewhat shunned. They're the underclass. They need to be controlled. And Cork started out in life as a sorcerer, so there's an interesting dynamic there. And Idris was on parole, and she was his parole officer. And now Idris just went down the street with some thralls of the Egg of Coot. This cannot be borne.
Yeah, I think the first thing she said when she showed up on site last game was when I was running her as an NPC was, only I get to kill Idris.
Exactly. Only I get to kill Idris. He's my responsibility.
So,
Oh, and Delbert, sir. Whatever assistance you need, obviously, sir.
all right, so here is the city. Where the little 50-foot arrow is pointing is the stable you had. This is in Seligas Circle. Directly across from it is Two Coins Tavern, where the Temple of Hirsch is. Zink's, the warehouse is down here, and Zink's pottery shop is here. So you guys hopped in the sewer, and there was a interesting sort of side path, drainage path off the main sewer main that led over underneath this stable. And something I didn't have y'all do last time, but Genebink and Forsalanto, I want you both to make some Arcana checks for me when you pass through all of that. Okay, the two of you are pretty certain that that entire space was formed and reshaped by a stone shape. So there was some magical action that was taken to expand that over into the door that passed up underneath the stable. Now it's been there for a while, but it wasn't part of the original design. Looks like that grate that you passed through had been expanded and then branched off of. So.
We also need to make our exposure rolls.
Yes, absolutely. Second thing we have to do, folks, is anytime you are exposed to really intense activity from the Egg of Coot, whether that's being knocked down in combat or being exposed to specific events in the campaign, you have to make a darkness save. And for every one of these that you failed, it's a -2 to your roll. If you're inside of the dungeons of Castle Blackmoor, outside, it's half. So we should all do that. Now, Idris has already made his, and there's been consequences for him already. Genebink and Delbert, I think you both got knocked down in the last fight. So, Genebink, how many times have you been succumbed to the darkness?
Twice.
Twice. All right, so that'd normally be a -4 roll. It's going to be a -2 based on these circumstances. Go ahead and make the roll.
And what is the base of the roll? Remind me, please.
It's your intelligence, your wisdom, or your charisma. It's your choice.
And is it a save or is it just the ability?
It is just the ability check. No, I gave you a save. Go ahead.
It's a save.
Yeah, it's a save.
What happens as a result of ordering the blue light special?
Would you like to?
Use an inspiration? Absolutely,
Yes.
if you're asking that question.
Yeah. Okay. It's a torturous nightmare, Jen. It really is. Delbert, you're fine. All right, you're fine. It's the same thing you've done before. The training you did in the Cabal prepares you for this sort of pressure, and you're able to shrug it off. But Jen,
Wax on, wax off.
That's right. Horrible, horrible nightmare, Jen. Here's the thing. The arcane science, the power that you've distilled, the power that you've generated, those things, there's so much more knowledge out there. You just have to open yourself up to it. There's an opportunity for you to really be able to do active good if you only understood a few things a little bit better. Like, how exactly does that black rock infuse all the magic? How exactly could you use that, perhaps, if your mother or father should die, to animate them so they could continue to help you with, your research? Or, if someone like Idris was, taken over or possessed, well, wouldn't it be better if he was possessed by you and you were responsible for, making him more successful and less of an idiot? And these thoughts really have some strong appeal to you. But, then you remember being a little bit better than a toddler, right? And there was this bright blue light burning in your mom and dad's workshop. Hot blue flame. Your mom had been feeding stuff into it, and she was very, very busy doing her research. And you reached up to touch the blue flame, and your mother, out of the corner of her eye, saw your hand, grabbed it, and looked down and kissed your hand and said, "Baby, don't touch bright blue things. Don't until you know what they are. Otherwise, they can hurt you." And you feel pressure on you. You feel a cloud shrink around you and try to force your vision. And you're like, no, no, no. He's after me again. And then, of course, you hear the coot, the coot, the coot, as it echoes in your brain. And then you sit up, potion dribbling from your mouth, as Penny feeds it to you and says, "You okay?" And that was your experience fighting off the darkness. It was a very near thing. So you've got Father Irwin and Sergeant Dugan with you, correct? And Cork, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dugan says, "Be God, I'm going to go rally some watch." He walks outside and he goes, "Watch, watch!" And he pulls this bell out from from a belt purse, pulls a wax plug out of it and starts to ring it. "I need a squad, boys! Get here!" And he starts ringing the bell and yelling top of his lungs. All right. Father Irwin says, "We should have response in maybe 2 minutes, no more than that."
So, Penny, did we got a name? What would you advise we do? Do you have any underworld contacts that can help us with that location?
I mean, I can put out some feelers, but I'm sure the watch is going to be looking for this thing too. Plus, didn't they say he was like a respected businessman? That ain't really my kind of area of expertise.
That's
What-
true.
It is now.
What was the name you were given?
Gregor.
Gregor. Doesn't ring a bell.
Go ahead and make a straight up charisma check, Penny. Sorry about that.
All right.
And actually, Tim, go ahead and have the same thing happen for. Oh, Penny.
Charisma check.
Penny.
Wow.
Penny rolled a 20 and got an 18. Go, Penny.
Yes.
All right. Let's see. Probably not Jenna Bink. She's not going to have access to this. You can do the same thing, Delbert, but I want you to make it with disadvantage because it's not really your purview.
Which roll?
Charisma check.
Do I get a charisma check, even though
Yeah, you can make it with disadvantage if you want, Jen.
I have university contacts?
Yeah. I think the thing for both you and Okay. So then your name's not really familiar to either one of you. Matt, this guy, Gregor Unabarden, all right? He is always keeps his nose clean, but there's always been a suspicion that he was where things you fenced went. All right. So he would be the sort of person that Red would take something that was just too fucking hot to move and move it through him. And
Hmm.
now that you've seen what's going on in there, the suspicion there's not really a formal thieves guild in Blackmoor, but most certainly there's clusters of professionals that work together as teams, right? So there's different cells of people who have a band, a den of folks working with them. And this individual was probably one of them. And that's one of those things that you touch on, but you know, if you see them, they see you. So you haven't pushed too far into it. But that was sort of the rumor mill. And when you hear Gregor and you think where it is, you're like, that's Gregor Unbahlen. All right. And just
I'll relay this information to the watch and
All right.
my compatriots.
Erwin says, thanks, Penny. And he steps out and goes out to talk to the sergeant, and the sergeant's still ringing the bell.
I heard
So
the canine unit responding a little while ago.
She really thought that the bell ringing thing was awesome, and she wanted to know who I was fighting, so she wanted to help. That was all. So,
So Penny, I believe you requisitioned us some horses. Shall we take those and do we know where this person lives? Because I think field research is required at this point.
I mean, yeah, we can go look around. I don't know if the watch will have like found anybody or can put people out there as well, but doesn't hurt for us to ride around and take a look. I know we're both pretty beat up right now, though. So
you guys see that there's two guardsmen have showed up. Two guardsmen have showed up, and they are talking to. So they are talking to the sergeant. All right, and the
Okay.
sergeant is collecting information from them for you guys. All right, so you can see that he's
Okay.
having a consultation. He's seeing what he can do. All right. Genebink, you feel sort of a knock on your brain, and you hear Arwen's voice in your head. Are you going to receive this message or no?
Is it COD? I mean, as long as it's not COD, I will accept the message.
Is she calling collect?
Yeah.
Are you going to receive this message or no?
Yes.
is it COD?
Nice. That's awesome.
So is this I'm assuming I would know, is this a message spell that I can respond to?
This is a sending, you're absolutely certain. So you can respond back with up to 25 words.
Okay. Idris was taken and is in a carriage. We can pursue on horses, but don't know which direction to go.
Okay. Make an intelligence check.
Oh, and I would also include, like, I clearly I don't know street names, but I would tell that we're at the location of the carriage place.
Yeah, you can, because it's if you tell her it's the stable off of Enceliga Square, she's going to know where that is.
Yeah, I just, I'm sure I had words enough for that, but I just, didn't have
Okay.
Google Maps.
No problem. So you were able to describe that to her, and she, it's only 2 strokes, but you were able to pass that information back to her. All right. And interestingly enough, she chose to communicate to you directly in Gnomish, so it wasn't tainted by Thonian. It was, straightforward, direct communication to you in a tongue that you're familiar with. So
I then go to Penny and Delbert. Alwyn apparently has located Idris via a locate creature. I told her where we are. Considering the capacity of that spell, I imagine that she's on her way here, so we should wait, but be ready to move as soon as she gets here.
Right, yeah, hopefully we'll have some watch people too, because it's probably going to be pretty nasty if we go with what resources we have right now.
Wizard Delbert, sir, we've just been in contact with forces of the Egg. I can get in contact with Inquisitor Nostwick at a moment's notice.
You should.
Then she is going to pull out a scroll of sending and send a message to Inquisitor Nostwick describing what has occurred with these were-rat thieves run by a thrall, and that a noble of the realm has been captured by them, and we are attempting to be in hot pursuit, but are having trouble finding the path. We've kind of lost them.
All right. The response back you get is, I'm in Vestfold. We are attempting to save the guardsmen who were turned into were-rats. We're purging them of that tainted magic at this time. I trust your discretion. Pursue as you need. You have my full support.
Aye, sir. I will relay that back directly to Delbert.
Very well. Thank you.
All right, so here's the deal. I got the boys scrambled. They're going to be looking for a wagon with 2 freaking diamonds on it right now. So I got the message rolling out around us right now. So I think there's a fair chance we'll be able to, pin down where he is. At least I got the watch starting to scramble. So that net's been cast for us. So
good.
And you so what do you guys want to do?
Well, is Alan coming here with the information about like where he is, and then we can go with the gods? Because that would probably be ideal.
That's the only intelligent assumption I can make, considering the fact that sending only goes one direction and then returns to the sender the other direction. So she would have had to cast a spell and therefore waste resources to cast it again. So I, using my intelligence, have deduced that she will be arriving here shortly. I don't know when, however, so possibly we should just chill out.
Okay, a simple yes would have sufficed, I think.
And indeed, that is what Delbert is doing, finding a place to sit and rest while things coalesce. Hopefully a short rest, but if not...
Delbert, Cork, Genevieve, give me an Arcana check.
Good luck with that for me.
An Arcana.
Nope.
Genebank, she specifically said locate creature, and that spell has a range of 1,000 feet, and also is limited by crossing water. So she's got to be careful that she doesn't move outside of it, right? So that's going to be the one serious challenge that she has.
So, okay. So yes, Genevieve would know that in character, but out of character, Jen does not have all the spells memorized in the book.
That's absolutely fair. That's why I had you make an Arcana check. You're good.
Thank you. So actually, on second thought, Delbert can stay, and I don't have the means to communicate with him, but she said she was at the warehouse, so logistically speaking, if we started riding in that direction, chances are that we would encounter her, so she would not lose contact with Idris via the spell that she is using to track him.
You should have the means to contact between each other. My latest briefing on your resources told me that you have some sending stones. Is that no longer correct?
Unfortunately, Idris had that.
Excellent. One more reason to find him immediately.
Yes, we will have to reevaluate our resource distribution strategy after this.
Horse coming up fast. So, and that sending stone, that set of sending stones belonged to Arwen, and she gave a copy of it to Idris because, well.
Yeah.
Horse coming up fast, full gallop.
Okay, I am going to get on one of the requisitioned horses and prepare to ride in a direction.
All right. Now the stable boy that you guys talked to pulled out 4 horses. They're good horses. They're nothing wrong with them at all. He has them saddled for you, and he has them ready to go. So, and he actually has a pony for you. All right.
Okay.
and
Is
Penny.
the horse coming from the direction of the warehouse?
The horse was actually coming from the direction of the warehouse. Would you? Your passive perception is 18, correct?
It is.
All right. So you peek out and you see above the head of the crowd. And you said it's Jessup.
Okay.
All right. So Jessup comes pouring up, reins in her horse, and she goes, "Arwen sent me. The fetch. I get Idris is gone."
Which direction is Arwen? Just let's all ride in that direction.
She was heading up. She was heading up towards the university. She was trying to track Idris with her spell.
I start riding in the direction of the university.
All right.
So,
You have another horse, Jessup?
so you've got horses here. They were
All right.
requisitioned.
Is there one that she still has, or is she giving us all of the horses?
She's riding up on her own horse. There are 4 horses in the stable that were provided for you last week when you asked for them.
Good.
I will mount
When
up.
Penny asked for them.
When Penny asked for, yeah, when Penny said, "Give me a horse," so
Penny asked for it nicely, so there wasn't a knife in her hand.
Yeah, it's not your fault that you have cranky, sneaky bastard accent.
Somebody has to speak it in this group.
that's
Yeah.
right.
In any case, Cork will mount up and say to Jessup, "You're riding with us."
She goes, "Yes, I am." And she rides up next to Delbert, puts her arms around his neck, and gives him a big old wet kiss, touches the side of his face.
We don't have time for public displays of affection here. Come on. And,
And
which Genevieve screams over her shoulder and runs off.
Like
she
Genevieve said, "Let's ride."
"I dreamt you fell." And so she reins around and she takes off. All right, so you guys are going to ride basically towards Blackmoor City, correct?
Yes.
Ride towards the university, right?
Correct.
Okay. And it occurs to you that probably the reason she is doing that is because that's the center of the town, and she's got about 1,000-foot range, so that puts her in the best place to keep tracking on him and try and figure out what's going on.
Okay.
All right, Penny, you have city knowledge, correct?
Per my background, yes.
All right,
I'll
so
link it.
you can get everybody to
City secrets.
City secrets, right? So you can get everybody to the gates of the university much faster than following the main streets. Everybody's going to have to keep up with you. That's the only issue.
Okay,
All right,
we'll
so
do that then.
you guys start to, you're hitting traffic. There's bodies. It's the middle of the day. People are moving. Penny's like, "Follow me," and Penny takes her pony. Basically, you're going through people's backyards, hopping over people's laundry lines. She's taking you that way, running through people's radish patches. She's taking you that way. Only thing I need you all to make is a DC 10 animal handling check to keep up with Penny.
Animal handling is actually a thing in this game.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Jenna Bink has gotten really used to handling animals.
And-
Robots are animals, yes.
And Cork is usually more of a walking a beat cop.
Yeah, Cork. His player discipline is roll all skill checks in the tower. So, but anyhow, Cork isn't able to keep up. So Cork's going to be lagging behind by about 2 rounds. It's about 12 seconds. You're keeping them in line of sight. You know where they're going, but you just weren't able to keep up with them in the same way. So the rest of you get to the front of the university. All right, and standing up front is about a 19, 20-year-old student who sees Jessup with you and looks up and points and says, "She's heading towards the marsh gate."
Okay.
All right.
Continue moving that way, yeah.
All right, so here is Marsh Gate over here, right? That is the Marsh Gate. So you guys head directly to the Marsh Gate as fast as you possibly can. Now, Dugan and Father Irwin are also with you too, so they're riding along with you also. And Father Irwin made his check. Dugan made his check also, so they managed to keep pace. So we've got everybody kind of together, and I'm just going to let you make it to the gate. Alwyn is standing in the square in front of the main gate as you run up. All right, as you come up, and she goes, "I've talked to the guardsmen here. They went through the gate, passed through. Nothing suspicious at all from their perspective." She says, "The only problem is I've lost them. They pulled beyond my 1,000 feet." She's like, "They're going full bore."
Which direction?
She goes, "They went out the marsh road, up towards Svenny's old place."
So, logistically speaking, and Jenna Bink would be able to calculate this, they are a carriage and we are on single horses. We should be able to overtake them, correct?
Yeah, the issue is going to be, do they stay on the same path? If you have to stop and track them, that's going to be the issue for you, because you can't ride at full gallop and track at the same time. So if they're running if they've got if they've got a carriage that's being pulled by 2 or 4 horses, if they've got a fully laden carriage, they're going to be able to. You're going to be slightly faster than them if it's a straight chase, but they know where they're going. You don't. So if they head off road or they fork or they do anything at all, you're going to have to track that to find that out. It's not going to be readily apparent to you. So that's the challenge for you. If it were a straight run, you'd be fine. If they're able to play any funk at all, it's going to make things a little bit more challenging.
So, Penny, do you think that maybe you should go in the obvious direction and I will lag behind and try to see if they've diverged anywhere? Or are you better? You don't do the tracking thing, do you? You are strange.
I do the tracking thing. I can find people.
Okay, then you do that and I'll keep riding like I am a complete idiot. And I believe that will hopefully benefit us.
So Father Dugan and Father Irwin and Sergeant Dugan. Sergeant Dugan says, "Listen, this is outside of our purview. We're going to stay here and we're going to go make certain that the warehouse gets handled the way it should be. All right, so we're going to stay here and take care of that." And Jessup pulls a satchel out and she hands directly to Delbert. She goes, "From the fetch." She hands the satchel over to you and she reins her horse back. She says, "Be careful." All right.
Okay.
And
Cork
what's
is
in-
side-eyeing that.
she says there are 5 potions of healing, a potion of vitality, and 2 potions of greater healing in there.
So, Father Dugan, I believe in our conversation earlier, you said that you had some spells that you were reserving for Idris. Since that seems to be no longer a priority, do you mind topping me off, so to speak?
No, not at all. And he steps forward and he casts 3rd level Cure Wounds on you.
Fantastic.
All right, so...
My God, I can't believe I remembered that from a week ago.
I'm very proud of you.
All right, Jen, that was... Whoops, I didn't...
Cork is impressed with your intelligence. She
All
also
right, Jen.
hopes that you're not too intelligent for yourself.
You pick up 14 hit points there, okay?
Fantastic.
You got any more of that stuff, before you leave us to go do investigation things?
He can heal you for another 12. He just rolled really hot. All right. Okay, Cork's a little pounded on.
You said he healed me, correct, or no?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
for 12.
Okay. All right.
Okay. You now have also, let me drop over in the party sheet for you. You have Jessup Stash. So she hands over a bunch of potions, 5 potions of healing, potion of vitality, and 2 potions of greater healing. And when you look at it, when you pull it out, there is a note in Chael, Delbert, that says, "Go quickly, go well. These are the resources I could save. I'll be mustering support for you here, the fetch." All right?
Okay.
And, Arwen's with you. She says, "Whew, so, he's a bit of a pain in the ass. I'll admit that. I think we all understand that. But He's very cute, and I very much appreciate the time that I've spent with him. And I'd
So,
hate to
are you
see
coming
him.
with us, or are you going to continue expounding upon his virtues in bed?
Oh, I'm absolutely coming with you. As a matter of fact, I will. I have the ability to locate him a couple more times. So,
I was going to inquire about that, but thank you for providing that information without me wasting time. Shall we?
um, we
He might be
shall.
cute, but
We
he's
shall.
also on probation.
So, I'm not really concerned with that. That's your problem, Kabbalist. And she says, "Well, Penny's doing her thing, looking in the dirt." She says, "Genevieve, let me talk to you about the effective way to disengage from a conversation you do not want." There's a couple of different approaches there. So, Arwen at this point feels it's necessary to start coaching you on etiquette and social interaction.
I'm going to ride out the gate in the direction as though I am looking for Idris and not escaping the conversation, although both are equally true.
Inspiration.
I am looking
Jen.
in the dirt and stuff to avoid this entire conversation.
All right. How are you guys approaching this?
I mean, we know the general direction in which they took him, correct? With their
Yeah.
locate.
Yeah, you know the road that they're on.
Okay, well, I'm attempting to look for any fresh tracks of a wagon on that road.
Yeah, and I am not going to stop and check, but I am going to trust my passive perception to possibly pick up things because I'm that good.
Wow.
Damn.
If only you had that kind of confidence with traps.
All right, so
The shade is real.
the shade is real. Okay. You are heading up the road, and there's this fork in the road referred by the elf stump, and that tree that's related to the Commodities that was cut down centuries ago but has never decayed, and is referred to the elf stump, and there's a fork in the road there. Go ahead and there's also a small farm, but it's also got an inn to it, right? So they have a little inn on the side of the road for people that didn't make it to Blackmoor before sunset, or who want to stay outside of the city. So there's a small inn there called Buckskin's Hostel. So you come up to sort of that point, and this is main Dragish. You're not finding there's a lot of traffic here, so go ahead. And it's a hard surface. Go ahead and give me a survival check.
Okay. I might actually be if they're humanoids, I might actually be at advantage with that. Let me double check. Yeah, I have advantage on tracking humanoids. I don't know if it's a carriage, if you still would consider that humanoids or not, but
In this instance, you're going to have an opportunity to use that, so go ahead.
okay. I will give you another roll then. So the second one will be the advantage thing.
Cork, you're dropping down and helping her also, right?
Yes.
All right. So, you can see where a carriage pulled over at the side here in front of this inn. All right, in front of this hostel. You can see where there was a bit of carriage that's pulled over. Looks like it could be the one that you're absolutely following. One of the things that you've noticed is that the wheels on the carriage, right? One of them has run into a nail and has a nail that's sticking out sideways. So every once in a while, it leaves a mark in the surface of the road or a mark in the surface of soft ground that you can recognize. So you're pretty certain that the carriage that you're following is pulled over here, although you're not seeing it now.
Okay. I'll look for any signs of the carriage being parked or hidden anywhere near this.
All right. So you and Cork are there, basically looking at the terrain, right? Trying to track it. About 50-year-old Thonian, tanned. All right. Big old bushy yellow beard. Mustache. Yellow hair tied back in a ponytail. Probably got some Skandaharan blood. He comes walking out and he goes, "Hey, welcome to Buckskins. What can we do for you? We got meals. We got a room if you need it. What can I do for you?" And he goes, and he looks at Delbert and says, "My lord."
Have you seen the carriage passed by here within the past half hour,
Uh,
moving
uh,
rather quickly.
Absolutely, they came in, changed out their horses, and actually asked me for a double team. And I'm discreet with the folks that come here, but Gregor has put. I'm gonna, and he looks over and he sees Cork, and he sees you, and he's definitely just immediately coming clean, right? He's not holding anything back. Well,
Okay.
give me an insight check from Cork and also Delbert. Yeah, he is not. He's just coming clean to you guys. He's telling you everything he knows as rapidly as he possibly can. All right. He seems a bit intimidated by, holy crap, there's an arcane warrior and a war wizard here, right? So he's pretty intimidated by that. He's like, yeah, Gregor pays me to keep horses available and stuff, and a couple of his boys were hanging out inside. So he came out. He got a double team of horses. They took off like hell from leather, and a couple of his boys hopped on horses and followed him out.
All right.
Gregor, you say?
Yeah, Gregor. Yeah.
Gregor who?
He's a merchant in town. His name's in Barlin. He has his folks coming through here all the time. Occasionally, he meets people out here outside of the city, and does his business, minds his own business. He'll run me private dining rooms, and meet with folk.
You said he's a merchant. What does he trade?
Stuff. Whatever he trade in.
All right.
I've seen grain pass through here. I've seen folks bound for him carrying types of pottery and stuff. All sorts of different things.
All right. Well, I appreciate your forthrightness, citizen.
So, well, if the cabal's chasing someone, I gotta assume the worst has happened, And he spits over his shoulder and he goes, "Cursed sorcerers, right? Right, lady?"
Well, for some values of cursed.
So, and he doesn't know how to process that, but he says, "Very good, ma'am. Very good. What would you like to do?"
Continue riding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Continue on. Yeah.
All right.
Tad, what is the lay of the land around here? Is it all flat? Is it woody? Is there like a tree every once in a while? You said swamp.
Yeah, this is rolling. This is rolling farmland. What happens on a swamp gate is there is an area of really swampy terrain where the ground is moist. All right, and then it crosses into the slight elevation until you hit a ridge and forest. All right, so you've got. And Sveni's old hold is up here on the right. You can see a small manor over here on your right, and that space is still present, although he hasn't lived there since he became a baron. But you've got a road running up the coast called the Coast Road that runs to Mouse, and it travels between hills, and it gets rockier and rougher and more woody the farther north you go. So you've got big swath of farmland. And if you look at the map, you can see that I've drawn in some of the farms, not all of them. But you got a big swath of farmland, and then you head up into a little bit rougher and more wooded terrain.
Is there any hills along the path that would have a slightly higher elevation?
Not really till you get to the woods.
Okay.
All right.
I'm just looking for any place that I could veer off a little bit and get a higher vantage, and
Yeah. No, what you're seeing here, that's a good call. But what you're seeing here is you have steadily rising ground until you see what looks like an upthrust of actually black rock, right? So Blackmoor is in a slight depression. All right, so you've got the bay, and you've got a ring of hard stone. It almost looks like a caldera all the way around the city. That's sort of a ridge of hills and stuff, and there's a lot of rock, exposed rock. And inside of that depression to where Blackmoor is, the city of Blackmoor, there's really fertile, rich soil. And one of the things that have attracted people here historically is great farmland, the magical puissance that comes from the core at the center where the city is, where that where the dungeon is, where the core of the black rock is. So you've got the swoop that comes out, and then it breaks into a rocky terrain and woods along the coast until it levels out on the plain a bit farther north. And of course, if you were to leave to the west and you head due west, you're gonna go hit a river, and then you're over in the Syria Swamp, the Great Dismal. So,
well, the good news is they took the time to swap out their horses The bad news is they have fresh horses.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Penny, Tim, are you just going to assist, or is Quark just going to press assist Penny?
That was the intent. Yeah.
All right, Penny, you're going to automatically have inspiration here. You have advantage on the roll. I mean, because and Quark is a very competent tracker. You know, she and you are working very well together. Okay. You guys are looking for a track, trying to pick out where they went, and you're messing around for about an hour here, trying to figure out which road they took. Give me another roll.
Quickfoot, you're a cat. Don't you have a advanced or better sense of smell than we do?
Yeah,
What
yeah.
do you see here?
Smells like some chickens that need to fucking die. There's some rats over there in that barn that I'm thinking, would be great with a little bit of flour and some butter if your mom would fry
You
them
know
up
what
for
I
you.
mean.
Yeah, I
So
got no
Delbert's talking to his cat.
telepathically.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. I'm not really picking up much here, boss. It's just a wash of sensation. But Penny's like, I got it. Here's where they went. And what the sneaky bastards did is they laid rushes down. All right, and apparently they spotted that they had a nail in their track, and they popped the nail out and fixed their wheel. But they went due north, and they've gotten a little bit of a lead on you. It's just the nature of how tracking works. So you guys gonna follow the north road?
Yeah.
All right, so you figure out if you finally pick up the track and you confirm which road they took. And
Are we still at the little stable?
yeah, you're within like 100 yards of it as they keep circling, trying to find it exactly, to confirm which road they went off on. Yeah.
While they're doing that, I'm going to go back and do you have any other horses?
So I got a couple. I don't have enough for all of you, but I still got two spare.
That's fine. We'll take them.
Shall I be invoicing your father, sir?
Yes, please.
Very good. So they bring out, two riding horses. One of them is better than the one that you have. The guy's big old gelding, about 3 years old, in his prime, and he
Okay.
snorts, stomps, and is ready to roll. So you've got one typical light riding horse and one very, very nice light riding horse. Okay. So Penny, you've got the track now. All right, you know the direction they're going. Describe to me how you guys are tracking these guys.
I mean, I assume we're just going to keep following the tracks in the. I'm assuming it's soft earth, the ground that they're on the road.
This way,
Dirt
this
road,
is
right?
this
Yeah,
is
dirt road.
well, it's cobbled out to a certain point. Once you get up to the ridge, then it goes to dirt. But it's cobbled for a long, long time, for a big stretch of it, and that's what's been making it so hard because it's the King's Road. Now you get up into the woods where you're outside of the farmland, and then the old road breaks down a little bit, and there's stretches of it that the cobbles have been knocked loose or they're not supported. So it's been a ongoing project to repave the coast road, but they just haven't been able to do it with all the invasions. Go ahead, Jen.
When Penny and Cork stop to, try to figure out where things are tracking, I am continuing to go, and I do not stop until I would know that they were out of my vision. So pretty much it's they stop, I keep going, I look back and make sure I haven't lost them, but that way I can, continue moving and see if I'm like the front scout to, either trigger an ambush or
Alwyn will ride with you.
yeah, just to, maybe I'll just see them before they figure out where we're going, that kind of thing.
All right. You come to a three-way fork in the road. All right, and it occurs to you that the thing that you and Cork are tracking now is there's a lot of horses here, right? So they've got a wagon with two sets, and then they've got some guys riding with them, and they seem to have some additional spare horses too. So it's a big pack of horses. All right, go ahead and Penny, go ahead and make another roll with advantage.
Sure.
All right, you got them. You got them. They're heading due west. And here's the thing, it's starting to mist a little bit. All right, so it's not
Mm.
raining super hard, but it's starting to mist a little bit. Go ahead and give me a nature roll, Penny. Anybody who wants to give me a nature roll can give me a nature roll, actually.
I mean, I'm there. I'll try. Something's funny.
Quickfoot.
No.
Quickfoot says, boss, I wish we'd bought some, some oil skins. I think it's going to suck pretty quick here. And Cork and Jennebank, yeah, there's a storm starting to come in off of the North Sea. It looks like it's not going to be a monsoon. It's not going to be like a really really bad storm. But it's going to be raining pretty heavy here in the next couple hours, and you've only got about two maybe 3 hours before sunset. So if you've lived on the coast and you know the end of the day rain, it feels like that, but you're farther north, so it's a little bit different. All right. So Penny and Cork, you come up, you know what you're looking for. You come to the fork of the road, you drop it around, and Penny's like, okay, they bore the left here. Two of the horses cut through the slosh here. We're not getting a lot of traffic. It has to be those guys that went that way, so you don't waste any time at all. You're right on it. All right. Okay. So coming up on sunset, you are substantial. You're 8-9 miles away from the city at this point. Give me a. All right, everybody, give me. Jen, you're on point, right? You and Arwen have been on point, correct?
Correct.
All right, go ahead and give me perception checks, both of you. I'll roll for Arwen. All right. All right. Good enough. So, Penny, give me a survival check with advantage.
Oh.
All right. There's no tracks all of a sudden. All right. Somewhere in the last mile or two, they've just dropped off the path or something.
Cork, can you take a look over here and see if you see anything? I'm not seeing any tracks anymore.
All right.
Are you guys what are you gonna do? Are you backtracking, or are you,
Well, I'm having Cork take a look where I lost the tracks.
All right. Well, Cork was giving you advantage on the roll, so.
I thought I had advantage from the humanoid thing, or no?
All right. Yeah, you got the humanoid thing. I've been having her assist you. Cork, go ahead and make a roll.
All right.
It occurs to me that you could put a saddle on Catapult and ride him, and he would never tire.
This is true.
It's very possible. I may look at that in, I'm not quite sure if it'll be version 2.0 or 1.5, but regardless, I will possibly look into that.
It's
I am
a
impressed
steady.
with your inventions, Jennebank. They're truly exceptional.
Yeah, first the Wizards Cabal gets impressed and they start getting involved. Just be careful.
Side eye. Side eye.
Arwen just smirks at that. So, hands you a small bottle of brandy.
This will definitely keep us warm in the storm.
And
Well, this makes sense. I mean, we all know where bardic magic comes from.
so I'm inspired by beauty.
Mm.
So are
It's
we?
a steady, grinding, cold rain now, and you don't have the track.
Okay.
Arwen, maybe, possibly, could you try to locate him? Maybe we're within range.
Yeah, I can cast it. I can hold the concentration for a while. And she casts the spell, and she's like, he's now within 1,000 feet.
So these tracks, they just disappear? Is this like it went onto maybe went onto a surface that won't hold the print? Or is
No,
this like just a cut, like it's just all of a sudden gone somehow?
go ahead, and you could both give me a survival check again, as you're discussing this between the two of you. All right. Well, as you guys are talking through it, what occurs to you is, all right. So you're not constantly following a track. If all you did was
Mhm.
walk around with your eyes down, you'd never make any time at all. It'd be a snail's
Right.
crawl, right? So what you're doing is, every 100 yards, every couple 100 yards, sometimes even every quarter of the mile, you're looking for things that are telltales. Like one of the riders might consistently pull to the left and walk on the shoulder of the road.
Right.
There's just different things you look for,
There's
right?
that one nail pattern in the in the horseshoe.
Right, that kind of thing. Yeah. So you've been looking for it, and all of a sudden you move forward and you're like, it's been too long since we found something. Where are they?
Mhm.
All right.
Okay.
And so, you think, they somewhere between where you're standing right now and the last time you saw a track, they went off the road, they
There was a turn.
disappeared. Yeah.
So we need to backtrack and find it.
All right. Is that what you're doing? It's coming up on sunset here. It's getting nasty.
What do you want to do, Penny?
I mean, the darkness doesn't bother me none, and I've been out in the rain before, but I know it's been a long day for a lot of us.
Well,
I don't know how much progress we're going to find of tracks in the morning if this thing keeps up, though.
that much is true. I'm not that much use in darkness. I can't see as well the way you can.
Well, here's the thing. Dark vision lets you see in black and white and in dimness, and that's not ideal for tracking. Tracking really needs color to be done well. Out comes the
Out
drift
comes
globe.
the globe.
Well, the storm could be helpful in that the wheel tracks will start to be deeper and maybe more identifiable
So
if we can find them again.
absolutely. So
So our tracker has been Penny. I'll hand Penny the globe.
all right, Penny. Penny, this thing will float beside you if you want it to.
Okay.
All right. So go ahead and make a tracking check. You have advantage on this one. And Cork, you can make one separately because she already has advantage.
All right.
You guys go back down the road and you find tracks, but you have no idea where they went off the road. All right. Jenna Bink, give me another perception check. And I will have Arwen do the same thing. Those sneaky bastards. All right. You look over to the right, and it looks like you can see there's this big stand of brush, right? And you look at it, and you look at it again, and they cast some sort of spell or something to grow trees back over the mouth of this track. You can see that there's a road on the other side of it.
All right.
Oh, I think there's a road there, and magically they must have. I would imply some kind of
Magically,
druidic magic. Yes, and probably the evil kind. Absolutely the evil kind. We should head that way.
I'm just kind of looking at her and smirking. I understand the
Doesn't this
reputation that we
instill a
have.
sense of urgency in you? Come on, road.
This
So
is
I'll attempt to track on that road and see.
I understand the reputation we have. You can relax, Jenna Bink. We know where your lines are. You know where your lines are. Don't cross them, and everything will be fine.
I'm not saying that I'm evil. I was simply trying to
In
instill a
any
sense of
case,
urgency in you.
So,
Cork is going to turn around and she's actually going to cast Detect Magic.
Arcana, by the way, Arwen walks up and offers you her flask of brandy when you said that. Just sort of smiles at you. So, all right. Go ahead and cast your detect magic.
Okay.
So, the
And Penny
plant,
was tracking.
the plants in and up. Penny, you're going to have no problem following this track. The issue is it's muddy as shit and slow going, right? Because it's a dirt track that's had a wagon go through it and it's raining like hell. All right. And you guys are coming up on, I mean, your joints are aching, you're cold, you're soaked through, you're feeling miserable.
I actually think I ignore difficult terrain. I do. But I assume everyone else is probably having a hard time with this.
So yeah, she just kind of looks over and blinks, and what do I see?
The plants in and of themselves aren't magical at all.
Right.
But, looking at them, you could see that there is plunked right down in the middle of this, something's grown. All right. It's doesn't make sense how it happened. All right. When you're looking at it, you're like, yeah, that's unusual. It was really good camouflage. Apparently, they whipped off the road, turned around, and caused basically, you guys know what buckbrush is. I'm going to channel my upstate New York for you. So it's a low, springy, thick brush. All right.
Yeah.
And normally you wouldn't be able to cross through it with a wagon, which is how you missed it.
So, is there any sort of trail of any other kind of magic there?
No.
Maybe because they're thralls and whatnot, they would presumably have things with them.
There's nothing left here. All right. You're not having any emanations. There's not like a magical trail behind them. All right. But it's and the plants at this point aren't magical; they're just plants. But looking at how the spell was cast and knowing what you know, you're like, yeah, okay. And what happened is, I mean, you went past it twice; it was well done, right?
Mhm.
But the second time you went past it, Jedabink was like, and what I did is I gave the point people a perception check because they were actively looking, and the rest of you were plugging along, tracking, right? So Jedabink's like, damn it, there's the road. All right, so you can follow this, but you don't know how far it goes. Go ahead and give me a survival check.
An additional one? I gave you one, or just Cork?
This is a separate thing.
Okay.
Oh, all right. I see that 17. I see what you rolled. Yeah, what you've got is you you think they probably got 3 to 4 hours lead on you just based on the delays you've had tracking them. All right, so they're well ahead of you, and you can catch up with them, but it's going to be hard slogging. So it's gonna take you 4, 5, 6 hours in the night slogging down this dirt path to get even close to catching up with them.
What is out this direction? Like, is there any towns, cities? Do we know map-wise?
There are farmsteads all over this area. This area, forest, used to be. And it's been overrun a couple times. It used to have, sprinkling of manor houses and stuff, and folks that were in fief to the Blackmoor itself. What's happened over time is a lot of the nobles have sort of collapsed back into Blackmoor City, and they'll keep their estates outside of the city, but they don't keep their manor houses there nearly as much. That's what's happened absolutely with Galen's family. They don't have a traditional castle or fief. They now have manor house that they stay in town, although they, muster troops from their land and support the king. But go ahead, and that's actually an excellent question, Penny. Everybody can make a history check, and Delbert, you actually get advantage on this roll.
Okay.
I don't suppose I can persuade you to let me use Artificer's Lore on that because, surely someone in a manor house would have needed an artificer to make cool things like a fountain.
You're channeling your inner fate game.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. I want to spend a fate point for that.
Yeah.
All right, everybody.
Fate is true.
You have a real serious, really straightforward conversation about what's going on, and Delbert goes, hold it. You think that there might be, out along this path in some area, there was a family called the Brindles, and the Brindles were minor noble family, but they were exterminated and almost to a man about 200 years ago by Skandaharan raiders. So there should be out here as you get closer to the coast, out towards where the woods break down, right around where the woods break down, and the road go, that's out flat out to where the cliffs are by the bay. There should be an old manor house for this family. And you're almost certain that it's about that location. And Genevink, you're like, yeah, I remember reading about them. And Cork, um, you know,
Mm.
um, you have earned a DM Whisper.
Okay.
Is there any particular lore that goes along with the Brindle estate? Like, is it haunted or?
Yes. Let me continue typing.
You had earned a DM Whisper, you would know.
I
Probably.
know.
But you did
Well,
not earn a
it's
DM
because
Whisper.
I'm an NPC, so I don't get inspiration. I just get DM whispers.
Fair enough.
And you just sent something as Alwyn, and I can't read it, bud.
Oh, sorry about that.
Apparently, I earned a DM Whisper by fate by virtue of,
Speaking of
Apparently,
omens,
All right,
so.
fine. Fine. Enough DM Whisters. This is just not working for me right now. So I'm just going to tell Cork, you could share as you think it's appropriate. This was a family of sorcerers that got purged by the Cabal. All right.
I will share that with Delbert, as he's a Kabbalist.
Okay.
is he?
Well, he is a Kabbalist.
Oh,
he is a member, a war wizard of the Cabal.
So,
And, well, I know that Delbert perfectly well knows exactly what I'm talking about when I make snide comments about Alwyn, and we all know where bardic magic comes from.
What time of night is it, by the way, Ted?
it's past sunset now. It's raining. It's soaking into you guys. Do you want to make camp?
What time of night is it?
It's about 7 p.m. About an hour
That's-
and a half after sunset.
Okay, so we can get 8 hours of rest and still be up relatively early in the morning before daybreak.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, all right. All right, so maybe let's rest now, and then we can try and go to this place because that's the only thing really out here that where they would hold down, and try and get there maybe before they leave, or hopefully that's where they're stashed out, and we can make some sort of assault on this place. When you got any way of like sending another one of the message things back to anybody in the city so they know where we're at?
I do.
Can you let them know like where we're going? And maybe they can send.
Reinforcements.
Yeah, or like just tell the Wizards Cabal there's probably sorcerers there, and they'll be there in like 2 minutes because that's how they roll.
I'll let the fetch know what's going on. Absolutely. And so she does that. So at this point, we will take our break. You guys will level up, and I will give you a long rest. You guys are all 5th level. All right.
Yay.
And folks, we'll be back in about 10, maybe 15 minutes because our players, although they are prepared to take themselves up in level and they prepped for it, are going to need to manipulate their character sheets just a little bit. Thank you so much for watching our stream. I hope you're enjoying things. If you have any questions at any point, pop them right in the stream and, I will answer. And want to thank everyone so much for giving us support. And let's have a good day. All right. We'll be back in, let's see, it is 4:20 now. We'll be back between 4:30 and 4:35. Thank you so much. All right. Hey, everybody. We are back. We have a group of fifth level characters who are kind of excited by that, I think. And um, let's talk about what you want to do now. So, Long Rain, you are all wounded, exhausted. It's been a brutal day. You've seen one of your friends struck down and his body absconded with, and you pushed along pretty much as long as you could. You might have been able to go along farther physically, but by the time you reached your target, you would have been completely unable to deal with it, and you know that. So even though it wears heavily on you, you decided to take a rest. And it's before sunlight. The rain started to slow down. It's still slight mist and patter. There's touches of ground fog. Your watches pass unmolested,
Hmm.
and Penny goes about the camp, waking everybody up. And of course, it's morning. What would you like to do?
So, Delbert,
Cork.
how are things going with your sister?
Pretty well. I think she's doing well.
Good.
Why do you ask?
I'm just letting you know. So, when we were with the king, the Inquisitor told me to explain some things. I just want you to know that I understand the kinds of issues that may be happening with her. And if you need any help, let me know.
Understood.
Arwen rocks forward and she looks over at Cork and she says, um, the University of Blackmoor and its Bardic College have purview in this instance.
Say again.
The University of Blackmoor and its Bardic College have total purview in this instance. Correct, Cork?
I am not looking to change anything with how things are going. I am only offering my personal assistance.
Well, I respect that, Cork. So, your background, as I understand it, is you were a young woman who walked into her power at one point in your life. Is this correct?
I did.
So, are you saying, as someone who passed through that, you would be willing to hypothetically assist someone who was in a similar situation?
Look, magic, like many things, is a tool. I understand the needs of my job. In a perfect world, my job would not be necessary. But we do not live in a perfect world. Tools are not good or evil. They are things that are used by people who are good or evil. And sometimes, like myself, someone gets their hands on a tool that they don't understand how to use safely. So, helping that person learn to use it properly in a way that doesn't hurt people, there is only good in that.
I agree.
Well, I'm not topside all the time. We delve down into the dungeon and will for the next year or so, at least.
Yeah.
So having someone else look after her would be beneficial.
I can do that. Let's just say that I am not who I work for. And my role as an arcane warrior is very different than that of an inquisitor. So I can do that, but I would encourage you to let your mother, for example, know that I am not, I don't want to say not there in an official capacity, but that I'm not looking to cause trouble.
Okay.
What I hear you say, friend, is that you are a tool for extremesis, not a something that should fall back to as a first priority. Is that what I hear you say?
Out of character,
Mm-hmm.
Tad, check your audio settings.
It looks like it's okay here.
Okay.
Yeah,
It
looks
might be. I'm not sure. I'm getting a lot of echo, and it's hard for me to understand what you're saying.
there's-
Yeah, you've been a little low the whole session, but
A little low, but not too bad. Not enough.
Yeah,
to,
not echoey.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm fine. From what I can tell,
Okay.
I shut down all my other mics, so I've only got my main mic.
Just double checking.
Yeah.
Um,
So she asked you if that you should be considered a tool of last resort.
I wouldn't say a tool of last resort. I'm willing to help. Just understand that, like Delbert, I work for the Cabal, and that while I can work on my own cognizance, there are certain things that I am bound to report.
That's clear.
You understand what I mean, Delbert.
I do.
So
And I think everyone does.
so I think
I'll mention your offer to my sister and also to my mother, and I appreciate it.
I think your intentions are clearer here, Cork. I don't think you bear any malice towards Megan at all. The thing I would remind you, though, is that Megan has the direct patronage of Fletcher William, and by extension, the king.
Mhm.
So I see what you're saying. Clearly, you feel some compassion for what she might be passing through and are willing to assist in the way that you can. I think you're just asking for discretion. Is that the best way to describe it?
Discretion is a good word.
Excellent. So, well, I think this stance is quite commendable, and I respect you for making this offer. You put yourself at risk even suggesting this, and that you're willing to do so, I think, speaks well for who you are. So, but then again, as you said earlier, arcane warriors are not the Cabal, and are certainly not the Inquisition.
Indeed.
And in fact,
So,
Kennebank, you've never dealt with just since we were talking about the Inquisition, I thought of this. You've never met someone named Call, have you? Goes
No.
by a nickname, the Clockwork Inquisitor. Seeing your arc welding and riveting and whatnot, building that made me think of it.
No, and as a matter of fact, this was not arc welding. I used some very advanced riveting techniques. So I will thank you to understand that my arcane science is very refined, and I don't just go around using some kind of flammable thing on this very precisely handled arcane science.
I apologize for making you think I did not respect your point.
I mean, do you not see that I have created Catapult 2.0 out here in the woods with spare parts? And by the way, Delbert, that was a very smart suggestion about the saddle. You can see that I've kind of smoothed off the top here so I could ride it just in case. I've increased the length of the claws. He's very good.
I'm taking it back. Was that a compliment?
I appreciate your intelligence in relation to mine.
Which one's is superior, though?
That sounds more like you, Jennifer.
So did you notice that the claws are...
This is as close to a compliment as you will get. I was not... I did not mean to impugn your skills. In fact, I meant to compliment them. I am impressed with your machine, and I know next to nothing about it, so...
I'm going to be going around and using prestidigitation to, add a bit of warmth to people's clothing as they let me.
Sure thing. Sure thing. I assume you guys made a fire last night, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
Probably make a fire.
Yeah, it's raining hard enough that they're not going to have smoke smelling, and it's not going to be visible as far because the rain.
Yeah.
So
it's fine. We'll build the fire and then firebolt and it's lit. It's good.
Roast some horse meat.
Amongst the things that I was doing last night, in addition to Catapult, I also created a strange cylinder that I shook a lot and looked at and shook a lot and looked at. So we'll see if that gets used at any point. And I also was playing around a lot with the glue gun of healing, and it appears to have some kind of other secondary solvent shoot on it now.
Jen, did you make a magic 8 ball?
Weight.
I did not make a magic 8 ball. What was that, Penny?
She made a shake weight.
That's funny.
So you're starting to see, all right, a little bit of light coming across the clouds above you. All right, so the sun's just starting to creep over the horizon. So
Then we're taking way too long. All right, everybody, we got to move.
all right,
I'm
All right.
following Penny.
All right, let's roll.
all right. You guys pack it up. You get on your horses and you go, following this track, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Right around noon, you guys start to notice that the trees are thinning out a little bit. The air has changed a little bit. You can smell, a little bit of salt tang. And you are coming out into sort of different terrain. So that sort of rocky kind of glacial till
Okay.
woodland terrain has broken down, and you're moving more into something a little bit more alluvial, right? So it's getting smoother. There's still lots of woods. There's scraps of patch brush and stuff, but it's changing, and you're definitely coming up within range of the coast. You can occasionally smell the air changing, and you've noticed off and on gulls and stuff moving above you. So you've definitely moved into a different place and a different sort of area. You see off in the distance, poking up through some trees, the ruins of an old tower. And that tower is, it's only probably half to a third of it. It's just sort of a jagged crack. But you can see the remnants of an old tower sticking through the trees, probably about a quarter to a half mile in front of you.
Is that like what the place looked like, where those people and the family was, right?
That would be your best guess. It's about
I'm
that
asking them.
location. Okay.
All right, guys. Well,
I believe that is the ruins of their castle, their keep, their manor. Anyway, what was their name again? I'm sorry,
Brindle.
forgot.
Brindle Manor.
Brindle. Yes, Castle Brindle. Brindle Manor, yes.
Yeah, you remember that it did have one central tower and a low wall around it, and it was relatively small. They supported a fishing village out on the coast and some farming.
Okay. And
Does it look like we can approach? Is there any foliage or trees or anything like that from any angle that we do not have to approach being visible?
You can. It's pretty heavy cover here. I mean, there's going to be any number of ways that you can come up on it. I mean,
Mhm.
there's a road that you're on right now that leads straight up to it, and it's relatively well used as that sort of forest track. So you've got that going for you. But yeah, you could circle around it. You have plenty of things, plenty of different angles that you can approach it by. What's happening is you just have a little bit of difference in elevation, and you're looking down and you see one tower about quarter to a third of a mile away from you. So, and it looks like there's trees all the way around it and brush. So,
All right, let's get off the road, everybody, and take the rest of this on foot from here on out, using the trees as cover. I don't think they should probably see us coming.
Arwen says, the fetch sent us some gifts. We should probably distribute them.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I would like one of those, especially since I ran out completely in the warehouse.
Of
And I
fetches?
have. Yes, Delbert, did you not get a whole bag of healing potions?
I did. Here, have a healing potion, and I'll pass them out. And hey, can I have my glove back, please?
Oh, yeah, this
Benny?
thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
There you
yeah.
go.
Thanks.
Why you? I mean, I was gonna give it back though, but you don't even have
Oh.
to ask.
Oh, I know. I just wanted to make sure that I had it. You could see in the dark, and I can't.
Oh, okay. All right. Though. Can I get one of them Healy things too? The liquids. I poured one down Genevique's throat when she fell down in the sewers. I'd like one back.
Okay. And I will hand you a potion of healing. They are in the party sheet, so you can drag.
Let's see.
I'm always afraid to be the first one to drag, because then it's like, I took all of them. I'm a bitch.
We don't want to say
I
anything.
believe by
I'll let-
default, it drags just one.
Okay, cool.
You have to hold down control to drag the whole thing, I think.
Woot. All right, good deal.
There's two potions other than the potion of healing that are unidentified.
Oh, there's should be 2 potions of superior healing. Let me fix that for you, and a potion of vitality. Let me hop over there and do that for you.
I would love to be able to take one of the potions of superior healing. As you know, unlike the rest of you, I tend to get into battle, and clearly Penny. I don't know why Penny is taking any healing potions, since no one ever touches Penny.
I take healing potions mainly so I can apply them to you when you get beat on.
Wow. Yes.
Fair point. I accept that argument. That is very logical. Good for you, Penny. I see that you are taking your debating skills from me. Yes, fantastic.
Penny, the DM, would like to note, challenge accepted.
What are you talking about?
So, all right, you've spread out the healing potions that you were given to support what you're doing. All right, you are heading down off of this rough terrain. The terrain's really breaking down in towards the coast. How do you want to try and approach this? What are you doing with the horses?
Oh, I want to tie the horses up,
yeah.
like away. I don't even give a shit if they get stolen. They're not my horses. So I think actually Delbert's family paid for them or something. So whatever, they can deal with that later if any horse thieves take them.
So you're going to secure them so they don't wander, but you're not trying to hide them. Is that what I'm
Yeah.
hearing? Okay.
Yeah, I don't really care if they're hidden or not.
All right.
I just don't want to walk back. I mean, we can as long as we have our compatriot with us when we leave.
And then I want to see, like, based on the terrain, what appears to be the best angle to come in at, where we can remain concealed from the manor.
Give me a survival check, and you can take advantage on this because you're trying to figure out how to sneak up on humanoids.
I will do that. We'll do both those things. Here we go.
You think you got a couple different angles. You're really going to have to see what the condition of the compound is to know for certain, right? But probably, so you can tell just by how the land's laid out that there's a creek over here, about a couple hundred yards off to your left. You know that's where it is. If you go and you follow the line of that creek until you're roughly parallel, probably you should be able to sneak up the bank and up onto them, especially if there is any sort of low brush. You're going to have to be a little bit careful moving up because there is a lot of things that are going to make a lot of noise as you're moving through them. Probably not going to be an issue for you. From what you've seen, probably not going to be an issue for Arwen, but the rest of the folks with you make noise.
It's all right. I got a way around that now, I think.
Excellent.
All right, guys. Come this way, and then as we get closer, I'm gonna do some heebie-jeebie stuff to make you all less crappy at hiding from people.
Can you define heebie-jeeb?
Yeah.
Is that some kind of new
GB of which you speak, Penny?
Oh, just I'm gonna cover you with some dirt and basically tell the Force to make you suck less at your jobs.
Oh, ghillie suit. That's
yeah, kinda. I can't really do a ghillie suit for the mouths on you guys, but I can do it for like shadows and people looking at you.
I don't.
Perception checks.
Hmm?
Perception checks.
Oh, okay.
Wait. Oh no, sorry. Wrong one. They're next to each other, alphabetical and stuff.
Penny, you and Jenabink and Alwyn hear singing. It's from probably about 75 to 100 yards away, and you are along a creek, and the creek has some stone, and it's pretty full and going pretty good, but you're right along it on the bank, and the bank curves up and over, and then you're seeing some spots of trees, one kind of heavy section of maple it looks like, and then a whole bunch of low brush, and you can see the collapsed remnants of a wall, looks like a corner wall, and then pieces of what was probably some sort of building, and then collapsed sections of a sort of a larger house sort of structure. Then you can see the tower right behind it, the tower sort of jutting up. So you're looking on probably from the angle you're looking at the south wall of the manor, and you can
Male
hear
or
people,
female singing?
both.
Coming from inside the house or along the creek? Inside the manor or along?
Definitely inside the manor. And, they're singing pretty happy little song, right? It's like a roundelay, and it's a game. It's a game that Pathonian peasants will play all the time. And, they're singing it faster and faster. You hear a couple children's voices in it. You hear... you rolled very well. So you hear one voice that you're certain is Dwarven, and also you sniff, and you can smell horses too. Smell of horses as the wind shifts in your direction. So
they're not singing the coot, the coot, the coot.
Doesn't seem to be.
Okay.
So, but that just pops up sometimes, so you never know.
Sure.
Yeah. Does it? It just seems to be bunch of fun. Oh, damn, that's a cook fire.
Alwyn, just out of curiosity, in case that, we're completely off track here, have you tried to locate Idris? Is he actually in there?
Let me do so. He is.
He is?
Is he up? Is he down? Is he left? Is he right?
He's in front of us, and I think he's down a little bit.
Right.
Okay, so in the basement. That sounds typical for Idris. Do we hear Idris singing along? We know his voice, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, she's like, no, my baby's not singing.
Wow. All right.
Does she actually refer to him as her baby?
So he is, so we're all clear, my boy toy. I want you all to understand that. He's pretty. He performs reasonably well. He pays for almost all the meals, and our private time has been exceptional and outstanding.
He's kind of pretty, but I mean, there's no accounting for taste.
Oh no, he's stunning, Cork. Stunning.
But I don't. He's so dumb. Okay, Penny, how are we getting in there? And what?
So, Jennifer, trust me on this. Sometimes pretty and dumb is an excellent choice.
So Tad, I'm casting Pass Without Trace on. I'm telling everybody to get within 30 feet of me.
Okay.
Oh, excellent choice. Excellent choice.
All right, so everybody stay within 30 feet of me. We're gonna go in real stealthy like, and this should help muffle the sounds of your inept feet and mouths.
Everybody, go ahead and make your checks. You'll have plus 10. Check your armor type. I think it might apply to Tim, and see if you have disadvantage on that roll. Other than that,
I'll definitely have disadvantage.
All right.
But it's a stealth check, correct?
Yeah, and you get a plus 10 on it.
Okay. So
I also have disadvantage because tanky here.
Tanky McTank of the Clan McTank.
Yeah.
But mine's equipped, and I think, well, we'll find out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to see. I'm gonna see what this does if it makes me apply it.
So you want that roll?
It's automated. You're awesome. Go ahead and roll, Jonathan.
It didn't add the plus 10, so.
So what you do
you have to
is
add
you
that
click
in.
on the box down in the corner that's and make it say
modify.
adjusting,
Yeah.
and then type in 10, and then do your roll.
Yeah.
Well,
but
I
you're
could have done that, but I thought it was going to apply because he actually cast it.
Yeah. He didn't.
You can also mouse over it and change the number with the mouse wheel.
Yeah.
He didn't target everyone. That's okay. The lowest roll we have right now, you guys move up silently. You move up quietly. No one makes a noise. Instead of the plate mail and the breastplate that you're wearing that normally clangs and chatters, you hear creaks of leather. You hear the shift of ring on ring. But you don't hear that metallic tang and ring that comes from heavy armor moving. So what Penny has done has made you move smoothly and quietly. You can be up against the south wall if you want to be.
Yeah, I want to try and peer inside and see what's going on.
Okay.
Sorry, I forgot catapult.
Yeah.
All right. All right, folks.
This south wall you're talking about, is this like a building wall, or is this like
I'll show you a map in a second.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm doing DM mappy things right now and getting you guys all placed.
All good.
Ooh, I better make a catapult not unconscious.
That would be smart.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think, Catapult would appreciate that. So,
That was version 1.4. This is version 2.0, completely different. This one has a saddle.
Yep.
let's see, is that what is active in the?
It has a saddle. It's like Battle Cat and Jenna Bink is He-Man or
So-
She-Ra maybe.
Outstanding.
For the honor of Blackmoor.
All right, there you go, folks. That is Penny pulling up to the wall and looking through based on what you can do. There
Waiting
are.
for it to load.
Okay.
Oh, okay, got it. There we go.
All right.
Tad, I need to fix something on my character sheet quick. Continue. I'm going to do so.
Okay. All right. So let me hop over to. All right. So, Penny, you get up in there and you can hear voices and stuff. There seems to be old dried out fountain. You're only seeing the corner of it. The tent in front of you is kind of in the way. There is a wagon filled with hay directly in front of you. You see a Thonian woman, mid-30s, larger woman. She's walking across carrying a basket. It looks like the baskets have some sort of fruit or something in it. She walks across and you see this wall there. There seems to be a house, and it looks like some of the roof on this section of the manor is still intact. The area over to your left, you can smell the horses. Apparently, the area around the tower, which is just off to your left, has been used to take care of livestock. You hear a pig grunting in there and rooting. You hear a cow, and you hear horses. And over to your right, although you don't have line of sight where you are right now, you can hear a bunch of people walking around and talking.
What was the direction that, I know she said forward and down, but what was the exact direction that Arwen pointed at with the locate creature? And does she still have it running?
She still has it running. She's concentrating. She'll have to drop it. She leans over and, she'll whisper to you, lower left. So,
Okay.
it's to your left and down. So she does this and she points over there. So it'd be in the map. You can see my cursor, correct?
Okay.
I cannot see. No, I can
over-
see it. Yeah.
Oh, see that arrow? Okay, it's over
Yeah, I
there.
can see it now.
All right. So it's over in there someplace, she thinks. All right.
I'm looking for the best way to get a group of people not normally apt at hiding to get over into that area without being seen.
You think that over in this direction, there are a bunch of people hanging out, and there's wood smoke drifting across there, probably from some sort of cook fire. And you're pretty certain that there's a bunch of people hanging out.
Does it look like we can go towards where my pink arrow is pointing? My pink pointer? Behind that?
You know that there's lots of horses and stuff over there, but you could get there.
Well, I'll move up to attempt to see what's going on over there.
No problem at all. Let me unmask it for you. So you move up a little bit farther, and that tent's in your way, so it's screwing you up a little bit, right? So you can't see real well. But over this way, whoops. Oh, yeah, absolutely. There's a bunch of horses and stuff over in there. And you can see that there's a couple pieces of stone set in front of this area, and there's probably a cow over in there. You can hear it, it's just got a different feel for you. All right. But
That should muffle our sounds. So I'll attempt to wave everyone up as I move towards this area to see if we can get around the back of it.
Okay.
All right. So you're going to go over top of that rubble.
I'm going to move around the side of it stealthily.
All right. Go ahead and give me a stealth check.
Okay. That I can do.
You guys don't even see Penny. She disappears. Penny has dropped down on the other side of it, and horse, they can see you. You're in straight line of sight for it, right? Comes up and starts nuzzling your palm.
I will gently.
Jenna Bink, you moved up. Please make a Stealth check, please.
We still have the plus 10, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
As long as you're within 30 feet of me, you have the plus 10.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Okay. There's me.
Tim, make a stealth
I'm
check,
about
please.
to make the roll.
All right, catapult moves up well. Okay. A horse is looking for something to eat, sees you, and immediately comes up trying to get something like an apple or something from you. Cork skids down the rock and makes noise. Not bad, but it's enough to trigger. It's a perception check they can hit now.
Plate mail.
Yes, plate mail. All right. Hey, who are you? And it's on.
God damn,
Okay.
why do we bring Cork along?
I don't know.
Useless. Absolutely useless.
Well, not saying, but your opinion might change.
So who's here and who yelled out? Who can I see?
I'm showing you.
Okay.
Oh.
Well then.
Some of them are right there, like right 5 feet from Jenabink, and she didn't see him.
They're in the tent.
They're in a tent.
Oh.
Yeah,
Now
I understand that. That's cool.
Yeah,
Now
they're
I
in the tent. They're in
I
the tent.
did
And,
not catch that.
yeah, no problem. Well, now you can see. See, they're in the tent.
Mhm.
All right, and there was a guy over here too. So, what we're about to do, everybody go ahead and roll your initiatives.
Nice roll there, Penny.
Yeah, it was
Exquisite roll,
pretty.
Penny.
That was kind of pretty.
Oh, damn. Moreland rolled a nice initiative too.
Yes.
Oh,
Fireball them
initiative.
all. Fireball them all.
Initiative.
Initiative. Who is gonna die? I'm sorry. I'm taking PJ's place here. Apparently.
That's cool.
Apparently.
Penny. Yeah, you guys step over just basically a barbed wire line, right? When you and Cork move up, and you just step over it, and that's what the horses are held behind. And you can see that there's some, like that old school steel kind of Victorian fence, right? Scrap of it's been pushed up on that section and kind of, propped up against the wall to keep the horses inside of it. But this was just sort of a line, and the horses stand on the other side of it. So you just stepped over it, all right? Cork moves into... No, did I provide fireball formation?
Yeah.
You did.
I'm about to say those 3 little words that every girl loves to hear. I cast fireball.
Hell yeah.
All right. So they make noise. You see someone spot them. All right. And there is clearly a were-rat. It's in half humanoid were-rat form. He's sitting on the wagon and he's talking to somebody.
Okay.
And its head comes up, it sniffs, and it points. All right. And it says,
That is my question.
All right. Okay. So, top of the order, round 1. First person goes. Penny, you're up.
All right, so I will the pointing were-rat I will shoot at. I'm going to sharpshooter, and this is with advantage because he has not acted yet. So let's roll it.
Did I roll a 1 for my initiative roll?
Pretty much.
I think you did.
Awesome.
I mean, it doesn't look like
shoot.
you're going last, but
My
But that's
second attack.
the absolute lowest initiative roll that Delbert can roll. So
And then my Dread Ambusher attack.
Fifth level.
Yep.
Oh, man. Oh, so it's arrow in the abdomen, arrow above the sternum, arrow in the throat. The were-rat goes back over the other side of the whack and falls and dies.
And then I'll move back behind whatever this is for any sort of cover.
Yeah, you can. And, it's a horse barn. There's, straw and horse manure, And as you come around the corner here, you can see
30 more were-rats.
No, there's a big pile of rubble there that's blocking your full line of sight over into the other area, but that's what you can see. And the horses get spooked. What happens is you hear thunk, thunk, thunk from the arrows, right? And the horses' heads comes up and they start to smell, right? And all of a sudden there's blood in the air. And so they're starting to stir around. They're not happy at all. All right?
I mean, the blood's way over there.
Yeah, but they smell it.
And it's Alwyn's turn.
And Alwyn says,
She's just a bard. She can't do anything really effective, I'm sure.
Alwyn decides that you all need haste.
Yes.
So she can affect, let's see, what is it? 6 people?
Oh, whoa. Haste is one person in 5th edition.
Oh, is it now? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So she decides that
I think 20.
She decides that Jenna Bank needs haste. So because Jenna Bank has a tendency to wreck stuff. So she steps up and casts haste on Jenna Bank. Huh?
Nice.
Means that I get 3 attacks. 3.
Yeah.
3 attacks.
Yeah, so you get a +2 bonus to your AC. You have advantage on dex saves, and you get an extra action that you can take: attack, dash, disengage, hide, or use any object action. So you get an extra action that you can use. So you are hasted. All right, and
now it's them.
Lots of them. Right now, I'm just happy for the AC bump.
I don't blame you. One's in the back. At least the formation's not bad.
Well, unfortunately, I'm sticking out like a sore thumb, so guess who's getting hit?
You or me.
yeah,
Sorry,
that's a good
dear,
point.
you're an NPC.
No, I understand.
I made sure that Quark was dressed appropriately in a red shirt today.
Oh, that's outstanding. Cork, this guy runs up to the side, gets behind this bush, summons a ball of, looks like electricity in his hand, and hurls the orb. It strikes you and crackles as you take 14 points of electrical damage.
Target acquired.
Half elf, wielding a sword, rolls out of the tent, and he let's see, drops a blur on himself. No, he's not going to do that. He will step out and drop a hex on himself. And he goes after Jenna Bank. All right, he misses you with his first attack,
Mhm.
and he misses you with his second attack. And you have seen Idris do this. You are fairly certain you're dealing with some sort of warlock. He comes around the corner and, drops a hex spell on you. All right. Let's see who's next.
Mhm.
All right. This dwarf blitzes across to there and swings at Jettabink. He is a bit reckless right now. All right. So you will have a disadvantage against him as you swing against him. And he has advantage. So he is swinging. And he misses with his first attack. And he misses with his second attack. I am pretty certain. Yeah, he's going to miss with his second attack because I could just see it coming. All right, so 18 and 16 against you, Jen. You bounce them both. All right. Double move to there. Guy running up with a spear. Guy doesn't seem super competent either. All right. This gal comes running up around the corner. She really can't get to anyone, so she's going to run over here. Double move. This guy steps up out of the tent and stabs at Jettabink with a spear and misses with the spear. And this guy here comes running up with a spear and throws it at... Actually throws it at Cork. And the spear misses. And Jettabink, it's a party.
Yes, and you know what? It is so much of a party that Jenna Bing pulls out that mysterious cylindrical canister, starts shaking it, and yells, "Mildly nonsensical fibrous extensions!" And
Okay.
some very brightly colored web-like string material comes out, and
Oh my
she
God.
basically casts webs using silly string. So this is what I do.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Like how is an artificer going to make silly string or make a web? It's like it's going to be freaking silly string. So I think she's going to pop it over here because that looks like prime fireball real estate.
Mm-hmm.
So they need to make dex saving throws. Let me make sure I got the right character. All right, so none of this has been tested, people. So be patient with me because, character leveling and stuff. So we're going to do this. Did that work? Yes. Oh, no, that didn't roll the thing, though.
Yeah, the saves. Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't roll any of the saves. Huh. I guess that is not programmed in because... Oh, there it is.
Drop the
Oops.
save on them, yeah.
So.
All right. So one of them saved. So Thonian with the Maze 16 should not be restrained, but the rest of them are all effed.
You got it.
So that's my normal action. Then we proceed on to the hasted action.
Mm-hmm.
And that thing is going to go on this guy, I think. Yeah, we're going to put it on that guy because he's unidentified. And anything that is unidentified is scary. So try to hit him. That does hit. I'm going to bludgeon him with my warhammer. That's a pretty good hit. I'm assuming he's not dead, though. He is not.
I think you have advantage on these attack rolls, by the way.
Do I?
Yeah,
that's
because
what
he's
Tad was-
raging.
Yeah, he's doing reckless rage.
Oh. So I'll throw a d20 again, and if it crits, fantastic. Where my d20 went? Where'd my d20 go? Frack. All right, I'll just throw it back on him again. Oh, he's dwarf attack. See, it's good that I rolled the other one first, but I got that one out of my system, so that's happy.
That's good.
That's good. So that is my haste round. I will then instruct Catapult to also attack this guy, and Catapult will go over there.
Catapult can't. Yeah, I suppose Catapult just has to make an athletics check
Okay,
to go
Catapult will
over
do
that
so.
wall.
Yeah, he's also got a 40-foot move, so he's pretty
Yeah,
good that way.
Oh, Catapult can't get over the wall though.
He can't?
Yeah.
All right, so he stays where he's at then. He scrambles a bit and goes, nope, this is not happening. But he is then going to attack this guy and help me out.
All right.
Does not negate the fact that he's still going to try to hit something.
That makes sense.
But it's going to negate, he's apparently my creation has lost all confidence in itself. And oh, he has advantage. Thank you. See, this is why we do keep Penny around. I mean, Matt. No, that is not what I want. Boom. There we go. See, this is how we roll.
Nice.
And then we do this.
It's a hard corner, so it'd be a -2 to hit, but that's still going to hit, so don't worry about it.
Okay. Sorry, you had not mentioned that to me before. I apologize.
That's okay. I didn't tell you. I'm just getting you up to speed now.
Cool. So that is all I or Catapult can do with our round. So I believe
That was
I am
not a shitty round.
No, not a shitty round.
So, all right. Cork, you're up.
All right, so Cork is going to move around them to here. And then, how do I target again? Because it's been a minute. Am I even targeting anyone? I'm trying to.
You can always just drop the die on the counter, too.
On the figure.
Well, I need to target multiples. That 15-foot square is mine.
Okay.
So.
Shift click.
Okay. I have no idea if that worked. But we're going to find out.
You want to target those 3 people in front of you, Tim?
Correct.
All right, I'll take care of it for you.
So if they're target, okay, I see. You're getting them.
Yeah, I'm getting them for you.
I don't know why that didn't work, but.
All right, you've got the half-elven swordsman and those 2 Thonian spearmen. So they're not targeted, though. Go ahead and drop your spell.
Which is within a 15-foot cube originating from me.
Yes.
So we will cast. Well, one of them failed. And that was upcast, so. Oh my God, really?
Yeah, it's going to do 1 more D8, though, if you upcast it.
Yep.
Right. So go ahead and drop that. Damn.
Wow.
Now, the guy who didn't make his saving throw, he also gets knocked prone, right?
He gets.
Is this Thunderwave?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah. He gets
Push
moved,
10
I think 15.
feet.
Yeah, 10.
Well, I mean, when you roll for garbage.
Yeah. So you rolled up, and it wasn't a bad call. And one of them is prone. So who didn't make it out of that group?
That was the
Thonian with the spear number
Tony with the
23.
spear.
23, and all right, I got him. He's prone. I'll put the condition on him.
Okay.
All right, good enough.
And let me just double check something. I think. Nope. Take it back. It was second level spell. So that is what I can do, I do believe.
Delbert, your moment approaches.
I am going to climb up on top of this pile.
DC 10 athletics check. Oh, yeah.
And from that vantage point, I'm going to
I'm
do
thinking
the
of-
thing.
I'm thinking all that PT from the Quidditch team just paid off for you.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, let's check.
Is that where you want?
All right, there we go.
Solid.
And I do the thing.
All right, target your targets, do your thing.
Ooh, I see a lot of fail.
4 fail, 2 success.
Well, and anyone in the Christmas tree effect in the red and green also take another 2d4 on the next round because the web.
Correct. Because the web burns.
All right. Quite a few people just are immolated. All right.
Dead, heavy.
Yeah, some people,
Dead.
a lot of folks are just
Dead.
gone.
Tony in
You
youth
know?
is dead. Way to go there, Dalbert.
Yeah, so a lot of these folks are just, cooked.
The smell of burning horse in the morning.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, toasty horse
Yeah,
flesh.
those
Horse
horses,
and
those
bacon.
horses are dead. All right. Oh, and you guys, Delbert, describe casting Fireball for the first time.
So I stand up and I reach out my hand and a ball shoots across the field and strikes explodes in the air roughly where the center of that ball is, and just you hear like not really a bang but more like a woof as the ball expands.
You hear screams. You see tents catch on fire. You see small children staggering out of the tents as they're cooked alive. Several of the Thonian peasants fall dying, set on fire, and a young Thonian drops forward. He's about 15, 16, on his knees, cooked as his face melts and his hair turns away. Several of them are still standing, but they don't look healthy at all. Anything else?
What a monster.
Hey, they kidnapped Idris. They're
The
all
small
complicit.
children.
Wow.
Wow, that was awesome. All right. So, all right.
Yeah, you know what? Delbert can have nightmares later.
I think he's gonna.
All right.
Silly string, fireball.
Yeah.
Perfect combo.
I like Silly String and Fireball. I think I may see it again. Oh, damn. I'm lighting cork up.
Well, goody.
So when they asked Delbert how he can fireball women and children, he said it was easy. You just don't lead him as much.
Man, flanking's not a thing in fifth.
That was kind of horrible, I do have to say. I respect it, but it was still kind of nasty.
Hey, Tad, where's that guy going? He was restrained.
He was.
He was, but he's no longer restrained.
Yeah, the webbing burned up.
He torched the web.
Well, if that's the case, then he also needs to take the 2d4 damage now.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll just.
So
roll
if you're
it.
ruling that the web is already burned off, because it actually says it takes a round.
Oh,
the web to
okay.
burn.
So he's still restrained. We'll move him back then. That's cool. If that's what it says, we're good. So
Yeah,
he can't.
it says exposed to fire burns away in 1 round, dealing 2d4 damage.
All right, so he doesn't move then. But he was the only one that was restrained, right? The rest of them were really lucky.
Well, no, the rest of them are either already dead or were lucky.
All right, cool. That's I mean, the ones that are left. You only had one person that was pinned.
Or
You're
maybe
dead, but you were
both.
lucky.
Well, I mean, given what just happened, already being dead might be lucky.
True that.
All the Darth Vader memes in general are great.
Yeah.
The
All right,
women and the
Cork.
children too.
Not speaking for Cork right now. Sounds like the Cabal.
It kind of does, doesn't it?
Sometimes.
You know,
All right. This
when
guy.
it comes to sorcery, they
Mhm.
kind of have no restraint.
Well,
They have some restraint, but definitely
Yeah.
not a lot of restraint.
yes and no.
Quickfoot climbs up on top of the wall, looks out across there, and telepathically communicates to Delbert that there's some activity in that room across the way. And catapults actually right behind Jenna Bink. Let me move that initiative to 10. And you guys hear somebody mumbling, all right? And probably a command word of some sort. Give me a
Get
second
any
here.
perception check on this?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Mm.
All right. And you guys see the fountain sort of transforms. You hear grinding, and what you hear is somebody, it's a command word. It doesn't sound like a full spell. All right. Um, did you guys just see PJ's last comment out in the chat?
Mm-hmm.
Was outstanding. All right, so you hear that command word cast, and then all of a sudden you see the fountain kind of transforms and cracks, and this large creature sort of stands up, and you see it shoulders pop,
I did
and
not
its head
touch that.
pops,
I did not. Penny, I didn't touch it. It wasn't the column thing. This is not my fault.
and its head comes up, and Cork, Jenna
Jenna,
Bink,
what did you do?
Alwyn, and Delbert all get to make Arcana checks.
Oh, freaking goody.
Delbert goes, "They brought a cave troll." No, there's an earth elemental over there.
Who do we know who was doing the mumbling?
Came over from your left. You don't have a target.
Okay, fair enough.
And Jenna, let's see. It was from in front of Penny.
Nice.
Okay. Um. All right. Top of the order. Round two. Penny's up.
I don't see anything in that area where the speaking was coming from.
You got that pile of rocks in front of you. It blocks your line of sight. The only reason Catfoot can see anything is because Catfoot's on the wall, or Quickfoot.
Pile of rocks in front of me. Which one are you talking about? Can you arrow it? The rocks.
That pile of rubble is about 8 feet tall. You can't
Okay.
see over it. Does that
All
make
right.
sense?
Yeah, I got
All
you.
right. So DM puts his own plot devices on the map.
All right. Well, I am going to bonus action Hunter's Mark the dwarf with the axe because he's swinging with advantage, and that's scary. And I'm gonna shoot at him twice with sharpshooter.
No, the horses are getting pretty agitated. They're going to start to be a problem for you in a round or two, you think, because they're going to start to ram into you. Right now, they're just snorting and bucking and stamping their feet.
Okay.
Go ahead and shoot him.
All right. All right. And then my second attack.
Mm-hmm.
Let me put this back on me.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Sup?
He's not looking happy at all. And, those two arrows stick deep into him, and he's not exactly, he's tough. All right, so you're hopping back on the other side of the wire to get away from the horses. Is that what I just saw you do? All right, good call. All right, Alwyn. Alwyn is going to step up. And she has concentration spell going right now, but she is whipping out her pretty little rapier, and she's going to do a couple stabbity McStabs at this half-elven swordsman here. Miss. Miss. I rolled back-to-back threes. All right. Okay. Going to stay in position, and we're going to whip over there at him now. So, Chromatic Orb thrown at Delbert Galen. 16 hits Delbert Galen, and this one is a ball of acid. Delbert gets hit for 18 points of acid damage. Hits you on your face, scorches you, and she yells at you, "You fucker, you just killed my kids!" All right. The Earth Elemental stands up, and the Earth Elemental lumbers forward, and with reach is going to swing at Cork, because Cork's the closest target.
Mm-hmm.
And the first slam attack. Damn.
Reaction.
Go ahead.
Does
Shield.
it still hit? I just cast shield.
What's that take your AC to?
That takes my AC to 23.
That blocks it. Good call. And then the second swing gets stopped also. So I rolled a pair of AC 20s to hit you. And so you cast the shield, and you see the fist come down and strike, and the shield spell stops it. And then it brings the other one around, and you hold the shield up, and it stops. And you can physically feel the force of these strikes coming through. These would have been painful in the extreme.
Okay.
But you stopped the Earth Elemental from attacking you. All right, I got a couple things I got to do over here. Daggers are getting whipped at you, Penny. All right, 3 daggers get whipped at you. One of them strikes, and guy knew what he was doing. He caught you flat-footed. All right, half elven swordsman. All right, he looks at all of you and how you're armored, and he reaches out to hit Arwen. And he misses Arwen. Looks like he cast some sort of spell. Okay. Dwarf is not doing well at all. He's battered pretty profoundly, and he keeps swinging at Jedabink.
He's going to take a disadvantage on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I rolled a 20 and a 16. So I'm going to roll a d3, and a 1 through 3 keeps the crit. I keep the crit.
Huh?
All right, so...
Wait, what?
Yeah.
No.
I know what he did, but...
Okay, I'll just roll again. Because he had advantage on the roll. I'll just have him roll again then. Okay, and he misses. There you go. First attack. Second attack. Does the second attack have disadvantage on it also? How's that work?
No, it's only the first attack. It's only one attack, but I can't react until you tell me what you're doing. So
No problem. I'm good with it. All right, so he got one hit on you. He didn't crit you. So, and that was me just ruling on the fly, but I can see how that isn't cool to you, so I won't do it. All right, so, but he does light you up, real solid hit, but you managed to maintain your concentration. All right, cool. So bonks you pretty solid, but you're able to get through it, no problem at all. Thonian with a spear here, and they've got a whole bunch of just peasants with them is the only way to describe them, right? They're just people with random weapons trying to fight, and they don't fight very well at all.
You say peasants. I say potential were-rats.
There is that.
Mm.
You say peasants, and Delbert says fireball targets.
Yeah, well, they're definitely with the wrong people. There's no doubt about that. But they're just folks. They're not, you're getting a...
Wear candles.
Wear candles. Yeah.
Candles, yes.
Hold on, Delbert. I think... There you go. That actually works pretty well still. So just in case you wanted to...
Okay. Whoa, what?
He only hits one ally with it,
All right.
And it's a rental ally. So...
A rental.
What? Is it my turn already?
No, I'm doing stuff.
Well, yeah, kind of.
I'm doing stuff.
Uh-oh. I don't like when he does stuff.
He's just
Anybody
throwing
else?
more mobs. He's throwing more mobs into combat now that Delbert's got fireball.
I'm enjoying it. You're right.
He's like, oh,
He's
Delbert's
adding
got
more
fireball.
enemies to make this last longer.
Oh, they're level 5. Awesome.
He's like,
You're up, Jen.
Okay. So I, already cast my web. The web is staying. It will burn off on Delbert's turn, I would think. So I am going to try to finish off this jackhole. And I get 3 attacks, so that's cool.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to seeing this.
So there's 1, and that hits.
remember you have advantage.
Oh, son of a, thanks. I'll get it on. All right,
You might
fine
have
here.
critted on that, so.
Here's my advantage. I did
Okay.
not crit, but hey, I still hit. So there's my first attack damage. Is he
Yeah,
dead?
that takes him down, Jen. He was not doing good at all.
Fantastic. All right. So then I'm gonna start attacking other people.
Another guy right next to it.
No, I'm gonna go for this half elven swordsman guy. He's been annoying. So he's gonna get the second. He doesn't have advantage. He's just normal. I miss him. You know what? I feel like maybe that is a calling, and maybe I do need to hit somebody else. So I'm gonna hit this guy just because I can. I hit him. See, I was meant to hit somebody else. Blah.
Pulp.
He's dying.
He's dying. So then I'm like, Catapult, what do you want to do? Catapult's going to hit
There's
that last guy,
there's a guy on top of the wall that just climbed up
Mhm.
on top of the wall there, right by catapult. So
Estonian 3.
Yeah, he's going to hit throw me.
he's got elevation on him, so that's disadvantage.
Oh, is it? I'm sorry. All right.
Yeah.
All right, I'll roll again. If I don't hit, then is bad. So he misses because of the disadvantage.
We're using some Baldur's Gate 3 rules here.
Yeah, really.
Right.
What's up with that?
But catapult is going to move up into this slot.
All right, that's totally fair.
Yeah, by my side. So that is, I believe, my turn.
Cork's up.
All right. Let's try this again, since I'm even more surrounded now. Come on. Yep. All right. So that should be shift click. But it's not working.
I gotcha. Don't worry.
I don't get it. Should be 5 targets if I'm reading it right.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me. There you go.
Okay. So. Oh, one of them failed. So. That's better.
All right. So,
Them just melted.
yeah, a
Three
couple of
did.
them, they just can't take it. These peasants who've been running up to fight, when they take that sort of damage, it kills them. They don't even have a shot.
Yep.
I mean, you
So I
know.
did that. Then for my bonus action, heal myself.
Okay, cool.
And then action search. And I will use that. No, I don't think that works. So I will use that as an attack action on swordsman or elemental. Choice. I'm going after the elemental. Oh, that time it worked. What the heck? Oh, that's why. Because you told me shift click. It's control click.
Oh, sorry.
Anyway, I will, I think, attack him. Come on now. There we go. Oh, and I have to do that. And then first
Hit.
attack. And then second attack because extra attack.
All right, you wade into it. You're smashing at its leg and thrusting up into it, and chunks of rock are falling away with each strike. The magical blade that's been infused with energy from the Cabal carves through it relatively easily. Delbert, you're up.
All
There
right.
are people moving around to your left. You can see a man has moved up in split mail carrying an axe and a sword, and there is a thief in position that just came around the corner and pounded on Penny. There are other folks moving up to fight.
All right. The earth elemental actually looks like a good target for me.
Got it.
I'm gonna chromatic orb, and I'm gonna cast it at using a second level slot instead of just a first level.
So do 48.
So, right, it'll do 48.
You made a really good Arcana check when you identified it. You know it's immune to poison, and it has vulnerability to thunder, which I
What?
don't think you can
Oh.
cast, right?
The web's burning out.
Yeah.
Well, that web is gone now. Yeah.
The web is gone, and on top of it, the guy died.
Are
in
you
it, so it was
kidding
worth
me?
it.
Look at that crap roll.
But you
Sure, Tim
doubled it.
sympathizes.
Yeah, it's 20 points of damage, but 3 ones.
Yeah, I see. I see it. I do. That's a real bummer.
That's a real bummer.
You know what it looks like to me? It looks like my first thunder wave of the day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's just yikes. Okay. In addition, I'm going to you know what? I'm better with long range. I'm going to just stay where I'm at.
All right, good deal.
End in my turn.
I would have loved you if you
Badook.
drawn your dagger and charged those thieves. I would have had such respect for that. So,
That's just because you only have respect for how melee fighters operate. That's all.
All right. You get snuck.
Reaction, shield.
Probably
Never
not.
mind. I take that back.
Okay. All right, you get stabbed.
Okay.
All right.
Darn it.
Jen, you're hit.
Reaction.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm going to reaction cast shield.
Okay, I got a 23. Where's that put your AC?
25.
All right, so give yourself that damage back. It was 6.
Yep.
And then he bites you. And the bite's a 22, so you just stopped a world of hurt for yourself.
Yep.
Tad's just dragging and dropping more mobs onto the thing right now.
Of course he is.
I'm sure.
You can hear the mouse click. It's just click.
Mhm.
All right, arrow comes whipping through. Arrow comes whipping through. And the final arrow comes whipping through, and so far I have rolled nothing spectacular. So 3 arrows come flying through. There is a Kamasti elf with a bow in cover firing around the edge there.
All right. And 3 shots at me, no less.
Woman steps around the corner. All right, red hair, very attractive. Wearing a green tunic with a staff in her hand. And she points at, who's she going to hammer? Got plenty of targets. Let's see who she go after. Jedabink, you're about to make a constitution save. And you
Yes,
save,
I do.
You save successfully against the blight. Taking only half damage.
Holy shit.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Is that sorcery?
That was, You have a sorcerer, no doubt about it. She steps forward, and you've got a couple sorcerers been running around throwing that, but she casts a blight directly at Jenabink, and Jenabink shrugs off the worst effects of it. But at the same time, you see her eyes sink back into her skull, wrinkles form around the side of her face. She gets gray, and her skin cracks as blood starts to seep out of several lesions that form on her body. But she made her save.
I'm still alive.
All right.
That's a lot for half damage. I mean, geez.
Welcome to the next tier.
Okay.
Okay.
I thought 6th level was going to be really far away, but counting all this up.
Oh, yeah. The XPs are awesome, though. That's the upside of this.
Yeah.
So, oh, damn. I have just critted Catapult. Catapult takes a solid hit from a mace. Quickfoot's like, there's a world of hurt going on. Oh, she casts that spell, then she pulls back in. All right. So, next round, we are at 601, and I think this is where we pause, and we continue next week.
Oh no!
Yeah.
That's the cruelty that I both love and respect out of you, Ted.
All right. Before we hop off here, let's talk about where we are, how things went for everybody, where everybody's sort of mindset is at this point. We'll start with Delbert. Delbert, what's going on for you? What did you like? What did you enjoy?
I liked casting Fireball for the first time. The fact that there were children involved, I probably should have known that, but I really didn't think about it before I popped off the spell.
Right.
Yeah. So there's probably going to be some nightmares going on about that, no doubt. But at the same time, this is the heat of combat, and it isn't exactly our first rodeo. We've definitely faced some people before, humans before, and had to kill them. So
might be worth
these are just smaller ones.
Might be worth a trip to the Temple of Odir at some point to reconcile too. Right, because I think that I think you've hit it. He can see while it was necessary. He can see how it happened at the same time. It's chewing on him a little bit too. So I can see those two things bouncing back and forth for you. So
I loved all the memes that that flew in chat. Almost instantly, the Anakin turning to the dark side memes started popping in Discord. So, I'm just sitting there going, "Oh God."
Yeah.
All right, Penny, where are you at?
Delbert's a monster. Delbert just nuked a bunch of women and children, innocents.
So
what a monster.
You've seen Afridi do that, right?
I've seen Afridi do that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
well, I never thought, sweet innocent Delbert, what did you do to my boy? What did you do to my boy? I mean, I'm not surprised they're using women and children to hide behind. They're evil sorcerers, the worst. That's the Wizards Cabal say. So, and I for one support our new advantage and disadvantage with terrain rules. I'm going for it.
Excellent.
That is new.
But yeah, it's fun combat so far.
Yeah, we haven't really had a situation where elevation came into play either. So
Cork sucks at hiding too. That's what Penny has also learned.
Jennabank. So you received the first 4th level spell of the campaign. Congratulations.
Yeah, Jennabank is very much one. now convinced that bards serve one purpose, and that is to haste her. Apparently I could see 10 episodes from now, there's like an episode where Jenna Bink gets hooked on speed because this is freaking amazing. So that's cool.
Oh, man.
And the new catapult's cool. I'm very happy that the silly string not only held people, but also proved to be tactically efficient with the fireball combination, although she takes no responsibility in the death of those women or children, just to be clear.
All right, I understand completely.
That's some compartmentalization right there.
Hey, I held them there. I was thinking they're safe, they're going to be out of combat, but then how was I supposed to know that Delbert's been working on flipping fireball?
Penny has
something
also
we discuss.
Oh, I believe what you said out of character was, well, I'm going to put my web right there because that looks like an ideal place for a fireball. I do believe.
Hey, that's Jen versus Jenna Bink. There are two separate things here. There is no way that in character Jenna Bink would have known there was a fireball coming. She just went, I thought of this cool thing where you shake it up and you create these fibrous things that hold people in place. It's amazing.
Uh-huh.
I was actually thinking the same thing. I was going to drop the web first and then follow up with the fireball, but there was some synergy going on.
The web was already there.
Now, all that said, I have some concerns because one, I just got hit by a spell that I saved against and took me down a lot. Did not help that I rolled a 2 on my hit points this level. And 2, we have a freaking earth elemental that is just pounding people. So, I need people to step up their game and Delbert to pull a few new tricks out of his hat.
More fireballs, Delbert. I don't care if there's women and children. More fireballs.
Hey, fireball that piece of crap lady that just, blighted me.
So, yeah, that could have been negative. Ouch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Tim, thanks for coming in.
Sure.
Any comments from the Great Cork?
Well, I'm trying to figure this group out a little bit. Trying to deal with coming in here and figuring out the deal with Delbert. And I mean, Cork knows about his sister, but has some sympathy for that. Some.
Right.
And I mean, we roll in here. I think that it was very real reactions. We roll in here and see a were-rat sitting on a log. Yeah, there's kids there, but a were-rat. At that point, we don't know that not all of them are were-rats. And not only that, lycanthropy is a plague, and none of them were wearing masks.
Oh, yeah, I completely, totally agree with that. Everybody's reactions were, completely reasonable.
We come in there and we're dealing with it, and next thing you know, I'm surrounded. What am I going to do? Try to get not surrounded. And then there's a freaking earth elemental and a sorcerer. Yeah, I was proven right. We were supposed to.
Yeah, you guys, it's been interesting sort of engagement, and I appreciate you stepping in and being willing to run Cork and add some additional contours in terms of, what Arcane Warriors do. So, and it's been good. So we are going to be back same time next week at between 3 and 7. I appreciate what all of you have done. We are now affiliates, woohoo, which means if you want to, you can, subscribe, and following us is awesome. We always appreciate that.
Like and subscribe down in the doodly-doo.
You got it. And we're about to, let's see, we're going to raid. Jimmy, do you have anybody lined up that you'd like to think we should raid?
Let me look. And while I'm looking, if you have a Twitch Prime account, did you know that you get a free Twitch subscription with that you can spend on anybody that you choose? But that is a $5 bill that you take out of Jeff Bezos' pocket when you so
not wrong. He's not wrong. If you've got Amazon Prime and you link it up to Twitch.
Ooh, PJ just hopped into the chat for us. Is there anything that Idris would like to add to us for the ether?
You're a murderer, Delbert. All those children and blood are on your hands, and you're never going to forget about it, bro. from me.
Yes.
Idris isn't there.
Because you don't know.
So,
Idris doesn't know.
I will.
Idris
I will
doesn't
know. I will know.
That's
so
actually
my
going to be a
job-
new song from Arlen too. Arwen. So
Oh, yeah.
Idris doesn't know. Yeah.
Idris doesn't know.
It just doesn't know.
Yes.
Or
yeah,
members
she's
just don't
actually casting
understand.
spending, going, "Dear, he's up here fireballing children. I wish you could see it." So,
So there is a person who programs for Foundry, which we all should start loving. Roll NL, and they normally stream in Spanish, I believe.
Okay.
But let's go ahead and raid them.
awesome.
Okay.
Habla
bien.
español.
Sí, español es muy bien.
So everybody say hi to Roll NL and their game. They at least one of them does speak English, so the gesture will not be unappreciated.
Excellent.
So yeah, thanks everybody.
Yeah, 6 raiders. There it goes.
Y el samurái te mira y dice,
Yep.
¿por
Definitely
qué
in
debiera
Spanish.
explicarlo?
So I will not be available next week.
I was wondering about the holiday and how that was going to affect us.
Yeah.
Well, I work, unfortunately.